Hey, what's going on? It's your boy YST. Welcome back to another raid video. On this one, we're going to be diving into Astralon, who was the Valentine fusion, and he's an insane champion. He can have a lot of utility for a lot of accounts in a lot of places. So we're going to cover all the places where he shines the most, and let's get into it. So let's dive into the aesthetics of this champion first. This champion looks absolutely insane. He reminds me of the guy from X-Men. What's his name? Angel. Yeah, so if you're familiar with him, he reminds me a lot of him. But got some crazy armor, got some weird gem pieces here, got the love hearts for the Valentines, and yeah, overall he looks brilliant. So without further ado, let's dive into his kit and see what he's all about. So on the A1 he has a 30% chance of placing a decreased defense, and you can buff it up to a 50%. Epics can do this a little bit better than him, but it is what it is. And if you have Countess Licks, you could do a lot of tag team abilities where you can do like an ally attack kind of thing. A2 attacks one enemy, will ignore increased defense, strengthen and ally protection buffs, and revives a random ally and places a shield on them equal to 20% of their max HP if this attack kills an enemy. So you want to make sure he's got a high DPS so you can revive some allies in places like the faction wars, etc. Also places a shield buff on this champion equal to 20% of their max HP for 2 turns if this attack kills an enemy. So you want to be killing people with this ability here. And his money scaling ability here is removes all buffs from targets under Veil and Perfect Veil buffs. So he's a bit of a Duchess counter, and he can place a 25% weaken debuff on enemies who have the Veil buff stripped, and then he attacks all enemies and has a 100% chance once booked to stun everyone. This bit here is absolutely insane. I recommend if you're going to book anywhere, I'd say skip these two and try go for this one and get that 100%. There's not a lot of champions in the game that can do an AoE 100% stun, so you can get a lot of crowd control utility out of him. But this one here, it reminds me a little bit of, what's that champion? Suzerain Kacham, because he does attacks all enemies and he can remove shield block damage and unkillable. So if you're running him with a Astralon, you can be removing the shield block damage and unkillable with Suzerain. So with these two champions, you can near enough mitigate all the buffs that a team can bring. And on his passive, he can fill the turn meter of himself by 3% every time, and decreases incoming damage by 25% if the attacker's attack is lower than this champion. So you want to scale him with a high attack if you want him to take a bit less of a hit. Alright, so let's get into the gear that I'm rocking with. I farmed the Fire Knight for ages for this. So we got the speed and crit rate here. Speed and crit rate. Speed and crit rate. So I'm just trying to get the crit rate through the substats here. Crit damage on the gloves because I do want him to hit hard. A nice crit roll here. Attack percent. We've got HP percent on the chest plate. The reason for this is I don't want him to die all the time. I want to use him as a CC champion in a lot of areas of the game. I'm not just bringing him here to show you a build that can just, oh my god, he's hit 200,000. That's not what this is about. This is about a build that can carry you through all contents of the game from early all the way to the end game. But if you are just using him for the arena, I recommend attack percent here. And we've got attack percent on the boots with speed rolls. Then we've got accuracy here, crit damage, and attack with some attack percent. So as you can see, my main stats are a 40,000 HP so he can sustain, a 4,000 attack which is respectable, a defense to keep him a little bit alive, not the best, 197 speed, considering I don't have speed boots here, or speed sets, so I managed to get a savage set and a perception set and have close to a 200 speed, which is brilliant, 100% crit rate almost, 2% less, and 233% crit damage, and close to a 300 accuracy just to land the stuns and the weakens, etc. And the masteries here that I'm rocking with on Astralon is an offense tree because I like the Whirlwind of Death so you can increase the speed each time he kills an enemy. We've got the Ruthless Ambush so he increases the damage for the first hit on each enemy, so when he's doing the AoE you want him to be doing a great hit. And then this one, because he does stuns and my other champions use fear and freeze, etc., he increases damage to stun targets by an extra 12%, so I recommend Opportunist if you can. Then we've got the Cycle of Violence to try cool down some skills, Helm Smasher here at the bottom, and then we've gone for the Spirit Haste. I recommend this because he does have a revive ability in his kit, so if people are dying you want him to bring his speed up a little bit and try implicate a bit of that. Alright, so without further ado, let's get into some areas of the game and see what you can do. Alright, so let's see what his abilities look like. I know what they look like already, but just in case you're intrigued. So he's got the AoE here, so let's see what that one looks like first. And it's quite a good amount of numbers there, so we got up to nearly 70k without any debuffs on. His A2 can do like this. Close to 100,000 plus ignoring defense, remember that. And his A1. Alright, so I'm not going to bore you with that. I just wanted to show you what the skills look like, and now let's get into some areas where I find him extremely useful. So a place in the game where I believe he has a lot of utility, first of all, is the Spider's Den. And he can do a lot of great things here. So if you're using a HP burn strategy with an Ultimate Gaelic or Ignatius, for example, he can do this. So you can put your Decreased Defense and Weaken on. Then get your HP burns out. And make sure you're not attacking the Spiderlings when you're trying this. And then here you just put your stun on. Look at that, 100% chance, everyone's stunned, so nobody's going to be in jeopardy to die. And then all you have to do is put your Heartseekers on. Or whatever abilities, just try not to use AoEs if you're using a HP burn strat. And look at this. Look at that. It just went down by like a whole quarter of his bar. Then you can literally just sit here, wait for the HP burns to finish him off. He also applies the Decreased Defense if you're lacking that. And there you go, a quick farm team. Is this any good? Oh, I've been looking for that for ages. But yeah, as you can see, Astralon has a lot of utility here with his stun. And let's get into the next area of the game. Alright, so I know a lot of people like the damage and to see exactly how much numbers you can hit. So we're going to do this just for the sake of it. Let's try the Dragon Run. I haven't got the crazy setup that you see loads of streamers and creators do, but this is what I can work with. So we're going to get the Increased Attack on from Duchess. And then we're going to get the AoE, Decreased Defense and Weaken out with Roxham. And just put an A1 here. We're only using him for the aura. And then here we can just, let's try this one first. So we use the A2. Okay, so nearly 120k there. And then we're going to put the increased crit rate and crit damage. So the next one with the AoE, we can get a bit of a harder hit there. Okay, so here, let's see what you can do. So the AoE with the stun, let's get it. Alright, so a respectable 100k plus around. Not too bad. I've seen some people hit up to 200k with the crazy setups, but just for a reasonable build here, he does hit pretty hard. And remember, this is ignoring 50% defense with the Helm Smasher and the Savage set, so it's pretty good. So before we head into the arena, which is the main area where I believe he has a lot of utility, let's try him out in the Sacred Order faction crypts and see where he can help you out. See that? You can just stun everyone, let your other champions get through it, and this can help you get 3 stars on a lot of stages where you might be struggling with the waves. So he's got 55,000s there, bearing in mind there's no decreased defense at all in this composition here. So there we had the revive there. So you want him to be able to kill the enemies and revive your champions and help you get to that 3 star if you don't have revives in your Sacred Order faction crypts. Can we get another stun off? No, just the A1s. Alright, so Astralon here with the last AoE to finish this off. Juliana finish her off, and there we go. Alright, so let's get into the arena now and showcase what you can be used for. Alright, so I found a perfect setup here. So we got the 2 Duchess, a Krisk and a Mistral, and then we're putting Astralon with Suzerain Catan just so we can see the difference between their buff removals. So let's try this out first. Alright, so I'm going to get Increased Attack on. Put the Veil on. And alright, so here, this is what Suzerain can do in comparison to Astralon. So with him, that is a perfect ability. So you can get your heal reductions on from everyone. So he has a great synergy with Astralon here. And then if Duchess now wants to put that Veil on, we'll get into that in a second. If Astralon gives him a chance. Alright, so let's just use the A2 here. Alright, 100k on the Krisk. He's quite a tanky boy, so let's try not to finish everyone off here. Alright, so every single champion right here has got a Veil on, which is a perfect opportunity to try out this ability. Come on. Removes all the buffs, kills everyone, good night. So as you can see, these two have a great synergy, so if you have a Suzerain, don't sleep on him. Put him with your Astralon, you can have a lot of utility there. And let's get into another one without a Suzerain. Okay, so we've got another team here with a Duchess, so we can try that out again with the buff removal. So let's get our Increased Attack on. Veils. And hopefully their Veil goes next. No? Alright, let's just get the Decreased Defense and Weaken out. Alright, so that didn't work out great. Let's try another one. Okay, so we've got this team here. So we've got Rector, Draft and a Duchess. Let's take off our speed lead so they can go first. And who else can we put? We'll just put a Sandlash Survivor or someone so we don't die. There we go. Alright, let's get it. Look at all those buffs there. Everyone's got a Veil on. This is going to be a great scenario. Alright, so we can't get the Decreased Defense and Weaken on because, of course, they've all got their block debuffs up now. But let's see this in action. Come on. Alright, so he removed it from almost everyone. He probably got weak hits on these two here. So now I'm going to leave a few battles for you to watch on a montage, and then I'll come back to you straight after that, so enjoy. Alright, so I hope you enjoyed that little montage there, and let's showcase the last piece of the game where I want to showcase him, and that is the Doom Tower. So in the Doom Tower, you can have a lot of utility for the waves, etc. So you can put a provoke champion like this, and then your veil will go up, or whatever ability you use. You can use your arbiter. You can put the stuns on everyone, decrease defense and weakens, HP burns. As you can see, everyone's health is just dropping off. He can slam through the waves, and you can have a lot of utility here. So if you're struggling in the Doom Tower, I recommend maybe using your Astralon with this similar build with the HP percent chest, just so he's not always dying and can provide a lot of CC for your team. So yeah, if you managed to fuse him, congratulations, and that's going to be all for this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure you like, comment and subscribe, and let me know in the comment section how you would build yours. So thank you for the ongoing support and 300 subscribers, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace.